So you're looking to move to the friendly city, aka Fruitland Park. Well, in this video, I talk about the pros and cons of moving to and living in Fruitland Park. Let's have a look. Let's go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Orlando Living, and if this is your first time, press that thumbs up button. It's free for you. We bring you community videos all throughout Central Florida, so please show us some love. Press that thumbs up button and subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. We want to make sure that the YouTube algorithm is happy and our video shows up for people that are looking to make a move to any part of Central Florida, Ocala, Tampa Bay area. Now in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the city friendly or the friendly city, Fruitland Park, about the pro and con. Now please keep in mind, a pro to me could be a con to you could be a pro to me. So it really depends. It depends upon your situation than anything else. And the number one pro of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is the location. You're just about 20 to 30 minutes to Ocala, the villages, and just about an hour to the downtown Orlando and all the hustle and bustle that the city of Orlando or Central Florida has to offer in terms of all the parks and everything. And if you are looking to kind of move to sunny Central Florida, but you want to be away from all the noise with the Disney and Universal, and you also want to be closer to a retirement community, then this is a fantastic place because your location is fantastic. It's just a small town with probably less than 10,000 people at the time of the shoot. It gives you a lot of a close sense of community is what I'm trying to say. So that could be something that you may want, especially when you're moving from big cities up north like New York, New Jersey, or any other major metropolitan city. This could be a great thing. Now let's talk about the next pro of moving to and living in Fruitland Park. One of the other pro of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is all the recreational activities that you can do. I'm shooting this at Gardenia Recreational Center, which is a community recreational center. You have the pool area, you have the kids area at the back. There is also a skate park, and you're right across from the State Griffin Park. We are in Lake County, which has a lot of small lakes. So if you are like an outdoor person, you want to do water sports, there's so many options other than what Orlando and Central Florida has to offer. So there's so many things that you could do, and if you want your peace and quiet, it definitely makes sense. So that is one of the major pro in my opinion. Now let's talk about the last pro of moving to and living in the Fruitland Park. So one of the other pro of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is the affordability. When you compare that to the villages, you're a lot more affordable in terms of the size of the land, in terms of the property and what you pay for it. And that is something to keep in mind, because right now with the way the market is, the affordability has kind of taken a deep dive where things have become so expensive. Over here for like 700,000 to 800,000, you get a really huge mansion when you compare that to the villages, which is also known as the adult Disney park. If you haven't watched my video on the villages, or if you want to know more about the Fruitland Park, make sure to watch the whole community video, because this one is just the pro and con. Now that the pro is done, let's talk about the con of moving to and living in Fruitland Park. So one of the major cons of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is that it's such a small town that there's not a lot of options when it comes to the schooling infrastructure. So if you have kids that go to school, like I have two kids, I have a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old that goes to the second grade, there's not a lot of option when it comes to the school. They only have one elementary school, and then they have another one that's going to be building up soon, but there's not a lot of options. So if you have kids, then this may not work because you don't have a lot of options. For more schooling options, you may have to go to the nearby cities such as the villages or also to the Leesburg, because that is something to keep in mind. Because I believe that as a parent, one of the major thing is that you really have to make sure that there is a good infrastructure with the kids. But that may not be your thing, because your kids might have been gone, and by the way, I have a long way to go, but you are the lucky few that the kids have gone, they're doing their thing, so you can pretty much move anywhere and schooling is not a big thing. Then that probably could work, and that's why I always say a pro to you, a con to me could be a pro to you, and vice versa. Now let's talk about the next con of moving to and living in Fruitland Park. So one of the other cons of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is the limited employment opportunities. Most people that are kind of living here has to go to work to Ocala or the villages, and some people have to travel about 45 minutes to an hour to maybe Claremont or also to Groveland or Mineola, because it's just a small town with a very less small population. There's not a whole lot of infrastructure. There's not a lot of hiring signs that you would see in the major metropolitan city. It's just more quiet and peace, and that is why there's not a lot of employment opportunity. There is growth that is coming, that is kind of spilling from the villages, but it's still got a long way to go. Now let's talk about the last con of moving to and living in Fruitland Park. So the last con of moving to and living in Fruitland Park is that there is limited healthcare facilities. Now, I'm not here to discourage you not to move to Fruitland Park. I'm just giving you my take on it, and it may or may not work for you because everything is close to Fruitland Park, but it's just not right there in the Fruitland Park. So that's why I'm saying it has limited resources when it comes to employment. As I mentioned before, it has limited resources in terms of the school if you have kids. And last but not the least is the limited facilities that it has when you compare that to the neighboring village or to the Leesburg, because they don't have a major hospital in there. If you haven't watched my video on the whole community where I talk a little bit more in terms of the history, in terms of real estate, shopping, dining, schools, everything, then make sure to watch that video out. I hope my video brings in a lot of value for you. If they do, please press that thumbs up button, subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate that. It's free for you, but it's going to help us tremendously so that our content is shown more in front of people that are looking to make that move to beautiful sunny Central Florida. So please keep in mind, as I always say with the pro and con, it's just my take. So there's no right, there's no wrong. I hope this brings a lot of value for you. And now that I'm TikToking and Instagramming, make sure to check us out at Dee Gupta Orlando. Until the next community video, thank you for watching and bye for now.